am going to be talking about Amy Porterfield, and I'm actually going to be doing an analysis, a case study of her new announcement that she is going to stop launching DCA. She is taking business A and saying, I'm not going to do it anymore. But here's what she's doing. And this is what I talk about, the key elements of income jump. Income jumping is when you solve a bigger problem, which ultimately means you can go from $2,000 per problem you solve. You can even jump to $7,000. 10,000. This is a jump that you're going to make from one to the other. Are you looking for a different alternative to make it all easy, what I call effortless? If that resonates with you, this is the video you've been looking for. I'm going to show you how I would do the pivot that Amy Porterfield is doing, which I call income jumping, and how I would structure if this was me. Are you a woman entrepreneur who's working so hard to get her launches going and staying consistent? Are you tired of working so hard every launch to grow bigger and bigger and not seeing the results of all the effort put into it? Are you tired of your evergreen not producing the way it's supposed to? Are you looking for a different alternative to make it all easy, what I call effortless? If that resonates with you, this is the video you've been looking for. In today's video, I am going to be talking about Amy Porterfield, and I'm actually going to be doing an analysis, a case study of her new announcement that she is going to stop launching DCA. I'm going to be pulling out a specific aspect of what she said in her podcast when she released this news. Now, just full disclosure, I am not inside of Amy's organization at all. I don't know her inner workings. I am just taking the information she spoke about in her podcast and showing you what I do. I'm going to show you how I would do the pivot that Amy Porterfield is doing, which I call income jumping, and how I would structure if this was me. One of the key words that she likes to use is pivot. She says, I'm going to make a pivot. Is she closing down a big business, right? Business A. Yes. She is taking business A and saying, I'm not going to do it anymore. But here's what she's doing. And this is what I talk about, the key elements of income jump. I'm going to go over income jumping very briefly here so that you can understand it as we're talking. If you want a deeper dive, there's actually a video at the top of the screen that goes into the full empire framework, becoming a time billionaire, which explains the whole path, the whole framework I do with my clients, what I teach, what I'm all about. So check that video out. But what she's doing is she's talking about a pivot. We are going to talk about income jumping. Income jumping is when you solve a bigger problem, which ultimately means you can go from $2,000 per problem you solve. You can even jump to $7,000. 10,000. This is a jump that you're going to make from one to the other, but the only way to really do this is to solve a bigger problem. If you try to take the $2,000 problem and say, I'm going to now make this a $5,000 problem, the issue is that everybody who's seen you for however many years, let's say you've been doing this for 5+ years, they know that problem you've been solving is $2,000. Why? Because you said it's $2,000. You've been selling it for years for $2,000. So there's a very big disconnect when you just try to increase your prices. The only time I see it successfully work is when someone runs very small cohorts and it's very, very exclusive. When they have a huge wait list of people trying to get in, they feel more comfortable raising the price because they claim each cohort is different. You're able to raise the price. If it's the same course that you're selling, it is very hard because someone will say, well, I paid $2,000. Now she's selling it for $5,000. Guys, this is the same $2,000 course I had. Nothing's changed. And then people get weary. So that's where it doesn't work in the disconnect. The second thing that's really important on these income jumps, which is what we're going to talk about here with Amy, is the simplification of it. We're going to use existing audience. This is key. We have to use the existing audience that we have, because if we don't, then we have to do what? You're going to have to launch more. If you don't launch, how do you get there if you're not using the same audience? So we don't want to have to do that. The whole point in making it effortless is to do less. It truly is. So you want to use the audience that you already have. So what does that mean? Well, let's say you've been selling your $2,000 course for 5 years. And every year, 100 people buy. That means you're making $200,000 a year. You've been doing it for 5 years. That means you have 500 people. You have solved this problem. They're at the next step now. They're ready to go. Think of it like taking them up the sales ladder. You're going to start here, and then you're going to go here, and then you're going to go here. Each one is taking them up a path. Think of it that way, where you have your $2,000 problem. Now you have your $5,000 problem. And now you have your $10,000 problem. You have to take them to one, then to the other to grow. If you have 500 people who actually did this, now you release your $5,000 course and you still get 100 of those every year. You already have the built-in 500 people. And you're saying, well, now I'm making $500,000 a year with the people who already exist in my list. This is the biggest thing. Now, there's some rules and criteria that I have around income jumping. I'm going to go over those really quick. We do not income jump more than 3 to 5 times max. We don't income jump until we actually have solved the problem in our sleep, meaning that we know it so well inside and out that no matter what, if we were in our sleep, we could still solve the problem. There's some little caveats that have to be put in place. It's very easy where Amy talks about pivoting, and then there's impulse pivoting, which is so true. This is the shiny objects. This is the squirrels. This is all the things you think is great. But if you do this and you're not ready, you crash and burn. You literally are right here and you fall into a boiling pit of lava. These are the people, when you hear people talk about, I think their business is on the way out, where they don't even know that they're falling into this pit of lava. That's what happens. They tried to increase things too much, move too many things. They didn't have a business that actually breathed. I call it an ecosystem that breathes. If it's not living and breathing and adjustable and flexible with what you need to do, which is really hard to build them, by the way, but you need to do it that way, then what happens is you're trying to income jump too many times and you're going to fall into a pit of lava. So one of the biggest things is we don't income jump until we are ready to income jump, meaning we can solve that problem all day long. So Amy's at the point now, she talked about it in her podcast. She is ready to make that shift into something new and different. Now, let's get into the big thing I want to talk about, which I know I did one already. So if you have not caught my other case study, I did a full case study on all elements of my empire framework of Amy Porterfield's podcast, where she talked about how she's closing DCA, what she plans to do, all her movements. And I talk about my whole framework and how that is exactly what I teach all day long. Like when I heard that podcast, I was like, oh my God, this is what I teach all day long. And so I thought it was really cool that she was talking about it, of course, a different way, but I wanted to show you this is what I do. And it's very relatable because she's in the moment doing it. So here's what Amy is doing right now. And I think this is something we all have to remember. What I want you to understand is a couple things. So Amy started off by saying, don't pivot till you're ready. And you don't want to be stuck in good. When I hear good, it's consistent sales. You want to be great, which is a time billionaire, ultimately. That's somebody who has multiple businesses running for them. They are at an empire status where they're not in the empire trying to grow it and build it and do everything. They're standing on the outside. I always think of a castle. You're looking at your vast empire of what you built, and you get to actually enjoy it versus being in it. And a time billionaire is you get to have joy, fulfillment, you get to be with your family, you get to travel, but your business is funding that lifestyle. And that's what I teach people to ultimately get to. That's what my House of Cortesa, my private business society for women, is all about. I have the live experience in Nashville, which is actually live in Nashville, where you can come for a day and actually get a 5% jump and experience this in one fast-paced, amazing day. No talking heads, real case studies, real work, real implementation. Super, super cool. So she talks about these things, good and great, and then pivot till you're ready. And what she's doing, which I think is so important to really hone in on, is she's first of all tested some of this. So she's tested the Millie Club, and she's tested, if you're making $500,000, she can help you get to $1 million. If you're making $1 million, she can help you expand. So she's already tested this. But the key thing that's important to understand is this. She is actually doing the one rule that I really said is key in this moment. She is using her existing audience. Now, in the beginning, I asked you, are you tired of launching? Are you tired of your evergreen not working? It's all going downhill. Are you tired of this constant push to find more, do more, work more? She's using her audience. Why? And I'm going to tell you again, I'm not in her back end. I don't work for Amy. I'm looking on top of the surface, looking in, hoping this is how she's doing it. If I was doing this, this is what I would do. My income jumping that I've done in my other businesses, the ones I'm doing here in this business, everything I've done in the last 20 years as an entrepreneur that has as maybe a multi-millionaire that has helped me sell over $100 million in sales in just 9 years, is this concept. And it's really looking at her audience and saying, okay, I need to solve a bigger problem, which I just talked to you about is the key fundamental around income jumping. Solve the bigger problem. But here's the thing. When she looks at it, she's not saying, oh, I need to launch more, or I need to have other offers, or I need more freebies. No, she's not doing that at all. She's saying, who is in my audience right now? What's the problem? And how can I help? She's looking at that right now, saying, I have these people, right? I believe the last time I heard that her email list was like 500,000 people, right? She's looking at these people saying, okay, I have been in business for, I think it's 14 years she was doing DCA. If I remember the numbers correctly off the podcast, I believe she said she helped 28,000 people over the time that she's been running this course, which is phenomenal. And by the way, I love Amy Porterfield. I took her DCA when I started online with my coaching business 2 years ago. I've been in her membership. So I've been in the world of Amy. She is phenomenal. And that's why I'm doing the case study on her, because she's so smart and so intuitive on these different moves. And the funny thing is, I'm seeing other big creators do these same kind of moves. She's looking at who, what, and how her audience can take this bigger problem that she needs to solve and what she needs to do. If she does it right, if I was to do it, I would just do a wait list because I have enough people, right? If my math comes out and if my information is correct, so correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. She's been doing this for 14 years and she helped 28,000 students. That means she did 2,000 students a year. Now, not everybody, of course, is going to create the course because her job, what she did, her transformation is she will teach you how to create an online digital course. She's not going to make you create it. She's not going to hold your hand to create it. She's going to teach you how to do it. And then you have to do it. Not everybody does it. So let's assume out of these 2,000, only 1,000 actually builds the course and actually has a business with revenue. They're actually making money. Now, if she has 1,000 and she's been doing it for 14 years, she has 14,000 people to tap into immediately. Can she help all 14,000 people in 1 year? Absolutely not. She's building smaller programs, more expensive. She's income jumping, basing on solving a bigger problem. And I believe, if my understanding is correct, there's smaller cohorts of coaching. So it's only so many weeks that you're going to be doing it. And then you can come back and do more if you want to. She started the Millie Club. Then she has 500,000 to $1 million. Now she's releasing her 150,000 to 500,000. So she can help you in the 3 different categories. Now she's charging more for those. Let's just play with this for a bit. So she has 14,000 people and she's charging more. And I'm not sure what she's charging in all honesty for this, but let's say she goes from 2,000, which was digital course, and now she's doing 5,000 or 7,000, right? Let's just take 5,000 as an example. If she's charging $5,000 and let's say she's doing smaller cohorts and it's, let's say 100 people per cohort, but she can run them 4 times a year. That's 400 people at $5,000. She's making already significantly more than she was in these big launches. She's going to make $2 million a year just on that one. Let's say she runs the Millie Club more because she charges maybe $30,000 for that one. And then maybe she's doing the 500,000 to $1 million and she charges $15,000 for that one. And then she does $5,000 for the 150K. But do you see how she's making a lot more? If she did 2,000 people at $2,000 for her digital course academy, she was making $4 million a year. Now she's an opportunity to do less, not doing these massive big launches, not having to put all that work and all the energy into these huge launches, which are very exhausting. Now she can make more because even if she only did this, she's making 2. Yes, it's half the money, but I have a feeling because she's already run cohorts with the Millie Club. And again, I don't know what they are. I don't remember what the Millie Club was charging, but even if that was 30,000 and you had 100 people over the year who went into it, you're making $3 million a year. Maybe you only run that once, plus running this one here. So here and here, you're already at $5 million a year, more than she did on the 4 million, and she's not launching. So the whole concept is when you look at creating your secondary businesses, the way I look at it is like this: business A and business B. This is what you have to understand. You have elements in the business that are everything you're doing. And what she's doing is she's saying, I already know if I take this one and I pull these across, then I already know I can have a very successful business. Maybe at first the pricing will be a little lower. Maybe I have to do some convincing. I mean, it's Amy Porterfield. I don't think she'll have to do a lot of convincing. She's amazing. But let's say she does. So she would have to do less. But here's the difference. Now I'm creating business B with the 3 elements from business A. She could probably reuse a lot of her marketing material if she wants, or she just has to jazz it up a little. Does she need to do a ton of freebies? No, because remember, she has the 14,000 plus people who are ready at that level to do that kind of transformation that she's looking for. They're already ready to join her right here. That's the difference. And so when you're income jumping, do what Amy Porterfield is doing. You want to utilize your existing audience. This is what I coach on. So if you're like, Christina, I don't know how to do this. This is what you come to me for. You want to be able to income jump effortlessly and enjoy. You want to be able to sit back, have joy, fulfillment, be with your family while your empire, your businesses that we're creating just flow and they actually support you. And so this is the big thing to understand. And now she's taking business B and she's utilizing her audience that is already here and saying, no more launching, no more huge offers, no more freebies. I'm just going to enjoy it. And she's able to pull. So I wanted to really share with you how big just one little element of income jumping can change everything. So if you have consistent sales and you have a great audience and you've already solved that problem, I could take your business right now. I can find the 3 elements. I can help you find that bigger problem to solve. We can name it, we can brand it, we can sell it. That's how cool it is. Now, understand it takes time. When you're transitioning from one to the other, I like to see my clients have money in the bank to survive for a while because it's a little bit of a transition. You are going to see that people will come and they'll join because you've already solved one problem. Now you're solving their next problem, which is really cool, but you're new to solving that problem. Just like when you created your business from the get-go, you were new to solve that problem. So it takes a little bit of time. My favorite element in all of this is time. You have to give it some time. You have to become the expert again. You have to give that time. But as you're going, it will happen. Stay consistent. Don't income jump faster than you need to. You don't income jump again until you've solved that problem in your sleep. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure you go look at your business and really consider, is it time to make an income jump? Is it time to maybe change some things around? If you want to look at being a time billionaire, watch the video above on my channel. Make sure that you see what it is to have an empire framework and becoming a time billionaire. See if that's for you. If it is, reach out. Come join me. The Experience Live in Nashville. Doors are open. Get your seat now. So make sure you come, join us, get that experience, get the collaboration, get introductions to people who will take your business to the next level. That's what it's all about. Small, curated groups who are doing huge things. No talking heads, no me just speaking on stage. This is all about you and the people in the room. So check those things out. All the links to everything I talked about is down below. Any questions or thoughts, please leave me a comment. I would love to get some conversations going in the comments, and I'd be happy to respond in there as well. Get on my email list if nothing else and subscribe to my YouTube. I'll see you on the next video right now.